Oh shit. What's going on, people? This is What the Heck Sports Show. Oh, listen, I've had a crazy weekend. And not crazy, but a little crazy due to the fact, my Michigan won. High Point was not a Cinderella. Let's just put that out there. It's just more of like a balanced tournament, but we'll get into that. Um, listen, I'm tired as hell. I had doing my kid was giving me facials and nails and all of that stuff. That's what happens when you have a young child, a young daughter, as I have three of them. Shout out to my kids. I love my kids. Um, but I'm a little tired. I can't see. I'm figuring out that I'm blind as fuck and I need to make a glasses appointment. I got insurance for what reason? I don't know. But we're gonna get started because I need to talk about a couple things. And we got Eddie G. Oh my gosh, no, we don't. We got Felipe Lopez, ambassador.
What do you do? What do you do, Heck? What's happening?
Yeah, Felipe Lopez, yeah, what
Man,
was not Christian Leitner last week. Now you Felipe Lopez. I mean, what's going on? What's going on here?
what's
Can
going
we?
on? What's going on, Hacker? And shout out to the audience, to our executive producer, Mr. Savage, everyone tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button, you subscribe, and you share the show. Man, if you didn't live through the 90s, if you're a real basketball fan, you know how influential Felipe Lopez was in the 90s. This guy basically was in the
So who?
this guy was in the cover of Sports Illustrated, man, when he still was in high school. So he basically saved the Big East. So today, since we're in March Madness, I became the Felipe Lopez ambassador for the day. So let's get the show going.
Is this to the Dominican Republic or the Spanish people that he saved?
No, no, no.
Because he ain't saved us Americans. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird saved us basketball. So
The the,
does this make you guys
the Big
want to
East.
play basketball? Did he buy y'all a basketball hoop or something? Because I need to know how he saved you motherfuckers back in the
The
day.
the Big East
Oh
was
my
in, the Big East was in shambles, and Felipe Lopez helped. What did he do, Ant?
Morning, morning. What it is?
God.
I was trying to get my headphones in but it ain't working right now. It's taking too long. But my bad. Sorry for the tardiness. I got in a bit late, so I had to get up and make grits. You know what that mean, bro?
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah, I had to get up and make grits because I got in about 2:30 in the morning. Sorry.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
Felipe Lopez was a cultural phenom.
Wait a minute.
This guy was the Dominican Michael Jordan, the guy that saved the Big East. He was in the cover of Sports Illustrated when he was still in high school. I mean, come on, man! Like this is something. If Ant knows what I'm talking about, if you're from New York and you lived through the '90s and you're a real basketball fan, and I'm talking about Rucker Park basketball fans, you knew this guy. I mean, you had celebrities going into the MSG when this guy was a freshman in St. John's. So Felipe Lopez had a string of injuries. His career, we can say, was a disappointment. He had a 13-year career. It didn't pan out to what he was expected, but man, was it good while it lasted. So today, I'm telling you, from now on, I'll be the Felipe Lopez ambassador just to reminiscence on those good days in the 90s in the New York basketball scene.
so speaking of the '90s, right? Like I took the pleasure of watching a old college basketball game for a little bit. I'm not gonna say I didn't fall asleep on it due to the fact Friday and Saturday was a little. I'm old now. I'm old. I'm pushing 50. Can't run around like I used to. So, but anyways, let's get back to. I decided to watch UNLV against Georgetown in the second round. Now, on that Georgetown team, give a fuck about the other players. the way it started off, you had Alonzo Mourning and Dikembe Mutombo in college basketball, Georgetown and UNLV. First off, I would like to say we need to get back. Where are the people trying to go to those squads again? Where has this gone? We have more of teams we never heard of in the tournaments now than teams that we all knew and loved. Georgetown's from, like I said, Patrick Ewing, Lonzo Mourning, Dikembe Mutombo, Allen Iverson. Like Allen Iverson and Victor Page, that was a great backcourt in my opinion. What happened to those teams? Like why people don't want to go there to these are the teams that put college basketball on the map. In my opinion, UCLA's, I mean, we have UCLA in there, but like LSU's, like where are these guys at? They're no longer.
Well,
And the great duos and trios are all gone. So there's nobody we get to like and love. But that's what, I just had, I was feeling a little sad. But go ahead.
y'all can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in regards to what you were saying, that was definitely a good time to be alive. So it was definitely a good time to be alive, man. In that mid-90s, especially the Big East. The Big East was popping. We was all kind of disappointed when Felipe went to St. John's, by the way. I felt he should have went to a Carolina or Duke.
In retrospect, it was a bad decision on his part going to St. John's. I mean, all the weight.
Or he should have just went straight to the league.
Exactly, all the weight of the league, of actually of the NCAA of the city of New York City fell on him, and it was too much pressure. New York City is the biggest sports market media in the world, and St. John's at one point was more relevant than the New York Knicks, and we're talking about in the era where they had like Patrick Ewing, John Starks, Anthony Mason, etc. So, just like I agree with you, Anthony, he should have gone to another school and not a school with not so much of a spotlight in the middle of New York City.
Yeah, and it's too much. This place is not built for everybody. I don't care. Everybody can't handle this kind of pressure at that level. Like when you play for these schools in New York, you expected to, especially if you're a big name or any of these programs, any of these teams. Forget this. When you play, like you said, St. John's, the Knicks, the Giants, the Yankees, you're expected to win. You're expected to win, especially when you got a big name like that, right? But but to go back to Steve's point in regards to those teams that we knew and loved and we grew up on, those conferences somehow dwindled. I don't know what happened. Like I think the culture shifted a bit when the one and dones, like they weren't going, the big names, they weren't going to Georgetown. They wasn't going to UConn. Like those in the Big East, those schools, that conference was really cultural based schools, right? Those are programs, right? You go in there and they expect you to be there 2 and 3 years and build the program. Remember, we had like the Emeka Okafors who could have left, Ray Allen who could have left. Even like back in the days, Don Yao Marshall who could have left, but these players stayed. You know what I'm saying? And help build these programs.
Clifford Robinson.
Yeah. You had players like that just was like, nah, I'm gonna stay, do 3 years, 2 years at least, and build these programs. And then you start to have the one and dones going to the Kentuckys and the Dukes. Not even so much Carolina. Carolina really didn't have many one and dones. They stayed too. That's what a lot of the issue with their program is too. The big name players was going to Kentucky, Duke, Arizona, UCLA, and stuff like that. So that's what's happening. That's what was happening to some of these schools. Even Michigan, you guys don't take a lot of one and dones either. Like you guys, those bigger name players, you guys don't take. Y'all don't, for whatever reason, y'all don't recruit them, or there's something about what's going on that they don't want to go. So that's how you get some of these players now. They either stay closer to home, where they could get a big bag. Like I just had this conversation last night with BYU, where somebody was like, they paid $7 million for AJ DeBunster. Was it worth it? Being
They
that
just
they was one and done in the
getting
tournament.
their ass kicked.
I said, but at the end of the day, who would have watched BYU without him being there?
I
Like,
mean, listen, they've been in the mix
for a
here and
while.
there. The Harvards, the Princetons, these teams have been coming up and making their way in the tournament and winning a couple games here and there, throughout the past years sprinkled in. So do I have to pay for you? At this day and age, they want to pay, right? Because they make billions of dollars. So giving somebody $7 million to them ain't shit no more, right?
No.
So now we giving an 18-year-old kid $7 million to play from our school like he in the NBA. What the fuck did he actually do but get you put out in the first round? So no, it wasn't worth it, in my opinion, when people are gonna make these high point beat Wisconsin that beat Michigan a month ago, and then took them to the brink in the Big Ten tournament. It took a last-second three-pointer from Lindenberg in order to beat them, and then they lose the high point in the first round. Like, no, I don't need to pay you $7 million to watch me. Somebody going to be nice enough to win anyway at some point down the line. I don't need to pay you that much money at 18 years old to come in and save a program that has a name already. So I'm not giving nobody that kind of money.
I don't know though, bro.
Besides money, the fundamental problem with the NCAA and the NIL is not so much a monetary one, but rather, for instance, the restructuring of many of the conferences. When you have Macaroni State and Tuscaloosa Community College playing in the Big 12 and the Big 10, diluting. When you look at a conference like the Big East, Ant and I touch on
he
this.
loved that Macaroni. Macaroni State University.
Ant and I last week touched on that topic. If you are a purist, if you're a real basketball fan, you knew that the Big East tournament, you were looking forward to the Big East tournament as much as the NCAA tournament. When you had those
school to go.
Exactly. When you had those at MSG at 12 noon, Syracuse, UConn, Boston College, etc. So what happened? What happened to the NCAA? Not the fundamental problem that we're witnessing now with the case of AJ DeBonsa with BYU. It's not that he's getting paid $7 million a year per se, because that's one of the main things that Ed O'Bannon, the great player from UCLA from that 1995 champion team, went to court to fight. It was that they wanted a share of the profits, but rather it's a problem of a structure. It's a problem that we don't have those ACC games like a Duke, North Carolina on a Monday in the depth of winter, in the winter, matter as much as a conference final game. So the NCAA has diluted the conferences. We're not seeing, for instance, those people that know back in the day, Auburn in the 80s was a basketball powerhouse. Everybody can remember when they had Charles Barkley. Auburn hasn't been to the tournament in a couple of years. Auburn has become a football school. So many schools have faced a contradiction of, are we a basketball school or are we a football school? That's why it's so surprising when you see schools like Ohio State. Exactly, like in Ohio State, that historically Ohio State, other than Greg Oden and his knees back in the day, they didn't make so much of noise in the tournament. So it's many factors, but I don't think money per se is the main one that has affected the tournament.
Yeah, and honestly, yeah, and there is the dilution of some of these conferences, man. Well, like we was talking last week, remember I was like, yo, when the hell did UCLA get in the Big Ten? I mean, like, that's a Pac-12 school.
When they switched all them joints around.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, switching everybody around.
I mean, you have the University of Maine. Pretty soon is gonna be working in the Mountain West Conference or something. So the restructuring of the conferences and the divisions within them, because remember, a lot of conferences have the North, South, East, West, etc. Within them. has affected the landscape. And we're only talking about basketball, because football per se, it hasn't been affected as much, because when you look at
football needed that. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Football needed that for the competition.
Exactly. When you look at a team like a Notre Dame, which is an independent, a UConn that is an independent, it doesn't affect as much the landscape. But for everyone that is a basketball purist and knows how important it is for divisions or conferences within the NCAA basketball, it has affected it. It has affected it a lot.
Well, you know what? You know what's affected me today? The fact that I'm in third place. After yesterday, if we look at the points and standings, as if anybody who's seen last week, we did a conference last Monday, a March Madness bracket, for a bottle. And I'm in third place. I was in second. Felipe Lopez, you were in first. Ant is now in first, with a commanding lead at this point.
I wouldn't say commanding things, but by the
It's
clock
commanding.
can
change.
It's commanding.
They could change, but right now where it was, we were like 10 points apart, going up and down. I never had first, but I was going up and down, and I was in the second, always in the second. You know what I mean? And now I'm in the middle. Hey, I'm still in the middle, right? Now I'm on the end. Like, I don't like that feeling. Down by 40, down by 10 to Felipe Lopez. But Ant is in the lead right now. I just wanted to put that out there. For even though it would have ruined all of our bracket, you're lucky that TCU folded yesterday. Had that foul trouble.
What a difference our big man makes. I'm gonna tell you that now. Right?
TCU was a small squad.
That's what I'm saying. They're like 6'4", 6'5". What are they possibly? If they're not clicking on all cylinders, it's not going to work against a Duke team. It's not going to work against a Michigan team. You know what I'm saying? Like, schools like that, you can't. That's not. Honestly, it's just not going to work unless, like I said, everything has to be perfect for them. But I told you this the other day, bro. As much as a Duke fan that I am, I bleed this blue right here. Michigan will not lose this tournament. Bottom line, I still got my pick for Duke. I'm a root for Duke all the way. But when I see the pop that Michigan has right now, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. You can't nobody. All schools got to be clicking on all cylinders to beat them. That's all I'm going to say. I'm glad that we don't have to see them until the national championship, if we can both get there. Well, if we could get there, because Michigan is going. I'm telling everybody now, Michigan is going.
And I appreciate that, as a Michigan fan that I am. I don't like people talk good about my team. That's not a part of this, this boat. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a jinx, but I appreciate it. Felipe Lopez, let me ask you a question.
Hold on. It's too early for this, man. Before I get to the Michigan, let me say a couple of points on the NCAA tournament so far. It has been an exciting tournament, although we haven't had many upsets, quote unquote. It has been an extremely exciting tournament. I mean, on the first day we had 8 games decided by 6 points or less. Just on the first day alone, we had
got trash.
All the number 9 seeds advance in the first round. It's the first time that it happens since 2019. So basically, there has been a lot of parity in this tournament, albeit that there's no upsets, crazy upsets like the one that we were about to witness with CNN Duke. The Big Ten is 10-2. The Big Ten is 10-2. So going back to the point of Ant, the Big Ten has had a strong showing so far in the tournament. Not UNC, VCU, perhaps the best game in my opinion so far. VCU down by 19. They make the comeback. Hubert Davis. Let me tell you something about Hubert. Hubert Davis. Hubert Davis, you might see him pretty soon at your local Walmart. Being the grocery manager. The
I
guy,
knew that was coming. I
the
knew
guy,
that was coming.
the guy has been sitting down with UNC administrators for the past 2 days discussing his future. There is nothing to discuss. I think UNC needs to move on from Hubert Davis. You cannot lose a 19-point lead in the second half to a mid-major school like VCU without Shaka Smart and his fitted hoodie on the sidelines. You need to win that game. That's the type of game that
hold on.
you have to make a coach switch quick. And just a couple more notes. UConn struggling against the Furman Paladins.
Appreciate you, Fluffy.
The Furman Paladins. UConn struggle against that team. And the sole reason why I picked UConn to reach the Elite Eight is, of course, Tyrese Reed Jr. Write that name down. Tyrese Reed Jr. 31 points, 27 rebounds, 3 assists, the best game so far in the tournament. And like Ant and I say, the NCAA committee made a huge mistake putting my St. John's Red Storm at number 5. When you look at a number 2, UConn struggling. When you look at a number 3, Gonzaga limping out of the tournament, and St. John wire to wire dominated that game.
And they're gonna win today too. They're gonna beat Kansas today.
Fears having 13 assists and controlling the game as he did at Michigan State is not one of the best showings. Like,
no, I think
like, and then hold on, you said the best game in the tournament, the VCU, but the Kentucky game,
the Kentucky Santa Clara game was
when he got the timeout. Are we not doing the controversial timeout?
If you watched the Vanderbilt, Nebraska last night, you saw how that ball came out of the ring. That game was going to be tied. No. For some reason, I don't know, some Cornhusker Angels or Saint Cornhusker or something, that ball came out of the ring. So in the NCAA tournament, it's expected to see a buzzer beater, last second craziness, a 6-0 run with 19 seconds. You are supposed to see that. That's the part of the madness.
That Virginia game was ridiculous.
Exactly. That's part of the madness. Now, the VCU game against North Carolina, it was just wild. How North Carolina lost the lead, came back with the lead, and VCU won that game with Terrence Hill.
But they didn't have their best player, so they folded.
It's not folding. I mean, the end is next man up. So when you look at a team, going back to the Tyrese Reed Jr. and a game with UConn, that's the sole reason I didn't agree with UConn being a number 2, especially with my St. John's Red Storm winning the tournament in the Big East. But just having that guy in the middle, that team is going to be a problem because he can carry the team by himself, and he showed it in that game. 31 points, 27 rebounds, 3 assists. So going back to before I'll let you talk. Heck, going back to Ann, you have Michigan going all the way. I still have Arizona. I'm going to stick with Arizona, and the sole reason is that the ugly game
on your bracket.
The ugly game. I think Arizona has a better opportunity to win an ugly game than Michigan. I'm going to leave it at that, and the tournament will show us that, because the first couple of rounds is all pretty and dandy. After the Sweet 16, it's going to get ugly.
Well, I'm gonna say I like Arizona too. I like them, but Arizona don't have Mara. Like,
yo, listen.
Is a problem, man. He creates if he wasn't in
Johnson too
against us, we wouldn't beat them. I'm just going to tell you that. Like that, there's no way.
That combination of Mara and Johnson,
yeah.
Dude, it's different, because like people don't understand, like not overall, but in the paint, like Johnson shoots over fucking 70% from the field.
Yeah, but that's the main difference.
You know what I'm saying? Like we have our big men that are still fundamentally sound that can pass. Mm-hmm. Like Mara's 7'3" and can pass like a guard almost.
Michigan,
you know what I'm saying?
Michigan is the most talented team in the nation. And
not, I won't say talented, but I would say well put together all around.
So this is what I'm going to say. In my eyes, like if you take man by man, like Michigan is, if it's not the most talented, it has to be top 3. Now Arizona, on the other hand, it has with their depth and balance, it has to be the most versatile and dynamic team in the nation. They have the top 8 rotation in the nation. I mean, Coach Tommy Lowe, he doesn't shy away from playing from playing 8, 9, even 10 players sometimes in games. So this is a team that doesn't get tired, that holds momentum, that is physical, that is tough. So if Michigan is going to win a game on talent, of course, the great Dominican Hope, Mr. Jackson Lenderborg, again coming through yesterday.
Yo, that dunk was wild,
Wow, yeah,
exactly.
son.
that was crazy.
I didn't expect that shit. I didn't expect him to dunk it. That's why. Like, I'm sitting on a couch like this, and I'm thinking he's just going up and just, it might be a little N1 or something.
Yeah, I
And
was
when
looking
he
for free throws.
banged on homeboy,
I was looking for free throws.
Exactly. So,
yo, son, I lost it.
So the great Dominican Hope, Jackson Lenderborg, that guy is going to win you games. Is that guy is a phenomenal player. Is a different breed of an
What's going
athlete.
on, Vajad?
But when it comes to winning the game, when it comes to playing together as a team, when it comes to, again, we are entering the Sweet 16. We're not gonna see no more Tuscaloosa community colleges and brisket and ribs technical schools. We are going to see the cream of the crop. We're going to see the real elite talent moving on. And now is when teams need to win the ugly, chippy, nasty games. And I think that's why I picked Arizona from the beginning, because the team has tenacity, physicality, and toughness. Not taking anything away from Michigan. I have Michigan in my Final Four, but I still think Arizona will come out victorious.
Go ahead, that's fine. I don't do, I'm a Michigan fan since I was not yay high. You know what I mean? Like, so it is what it is. You have your logical reasons. I have my rooting reasons, and the simple fact that we was number one between 1 and 3, damn near all season. But whatever, we'll see what happens. But do you think Santa Clara got robbed due to the refs not recognizing the timeout that the coach called, because he was probably trying to set up a defense? So now what happens was, when he don't get the timeout called, or they able to get that half court off the backboard shot done, which I did witness on lunchtime. But anyways, that's what happened. Like, coach running up and down the court, we seen it, timeout, and the refs didn't recognize it or care to recognize it. Maybe he was too late. Maybe he should have went to the refs earlier. I don't know. I don't know if you guys seen it, but it's a controversial thing right now. And Santa Clara could have probably been our Cinderella this year. You know what I mean? Because High Point just and the crazy part is, High Point girls was slapping last night. They in the tournament too.
Yeah.
Still.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean? But anyways, what do y'all think about that? Like, them not calling or recognizing, or was that the coach's problem for not getting the refs' attention earlier, or was it the refs' issue for letting that game go and not recognizing what the coach was trying to do at that point? We'll go with Ant. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't see it. I didn't see it, so I can't call it.
I mean, in my opinion,
where the crap? What happened to my screen?
I mean, in my opinion, it's a combination of both. But on the same token, just like we spoke last week, personally, I am tired of seeing all these Santa Clara, St. Mary's, Gonzagas, all these mid-majors make the tournament with all the hype and then come out limping, get on their Greyhound buses and go back to school sobbing the next day. We need to see more big-time schools, big-time programs, albeit even if they get... I'd rather see a 13th Alabama than a 2 Gonzaga, than a 3 Gonzaga. Because at the end of the day, the NCAA... I mean, remember, Kentucky was the underdog. I mean, what perhaps if not the greatest basketball school in history, has to be top 5. So Kentucky was an underdog to Santa Clara, and once again, it shows that the big school programs, the talent, the level of competition holds weight. These kids spend all year long playing
Transfer portal.
The transfer portal, but at the same time, the only recent memory, the only recent example that we can say of a pure mid-major team that made an impact in the tournament without the transfer portal was Butler, led by Gordon Hayward and his knees. Basically, this was a team that for 2-3 years, I think they made two Elite Eights and actually one Elite Eight, one Final Four, in the finals of the tournament against Duke when Hayward hit that shot and he almost made it. So there's no precedent to keep having all these mid majors in the tournament when they haven't done anything historically. So when you see a team like Santa Clara, they lost. We might argue that they got robbed. At the same time, it was 50-50 everything. But
I got to cut you off for that one. Because before you get
Yeah.
into that, I have to understand where you're going with that one, because are you suggesting that we eliminate those teams and those conferences from the tournament?
no, I'm
Because
not.
we don't get to see a Gordon Hayward at that point, right? We don't
Like,
get to
we
see
got to
his
learn
greatness
I'm not.
about what's the
about those
like.
people.
Honestly, this tournament brings forth players that we don't get to see because there's too many teams and we can't watch them all.
The
Right?
Kenneth
So,
Farieds of the world, the Gordon Haywoods,
what's the kid
the
I
Jimmy
enjoyed watching
Fredette's.
them the other day for St. Louis, Avila. Like, I enjoy watching that kid
Dude,
with the
dude,
glasses.
like he's
I enjoy
trash,
watching him.
but though he's nice though. He
The
looked crazy,
tournament,
but he's nasty.
right? Like, he's slow. Like, he was giving. I'm watching him. I'm like, yo, that looked like Sandrone
Jokic.
or
I'm
Oh
not.
Brett.
yeah,
Like,
like Jokic, like that's like his body type, all of that. Like
he don't even look like a basketball player. If you see him in Walmart right now, you're gonna be like, yo, dude, my man, can you just get that off the top shelf for me? I know you work here. I know
I,
you work here.
I
And
mean,
he's the business.
I'm not suggesting eliminating the teams. If you are the Sienas of the world, the Manhattans, the San Francis of Brooklyn, Long Island University, if you win your conference, you gotta go to the tournament. You gotta go to the dance. And of course, now my argument is that we have to stop rewarding these major schools. When you have a St. John's at 5 and you have a Gonzaga at 3, so basically you are telling me that Gonzaga holds more weight than St. John's winning the Big East tournament when all in all it doesn't. So I'm not saying eliminate them. I'm saying let's not reward them. Santa Clara,
You gotta
St.
look at
Mary,
the schedule, though. You gotta look at the schedules.
yes, but the schedule again. These schools play against San Francisco, Pepperdine. They play against mid schools throughout the year in high school gymnasiums with 800 fans and 3 mascots. So at the end of the year, I would rather see a big time school get a higher seed, a higher prominence, a higher spotlight in the tournament than a school in the middle of Boise, Idaho. So at the end of the day, I'm not saying eliminate them. It's good to see your VCUs. It's good to see your Butler, George Mason back in the day. Of course, you want to see them, but let's not keep rewarding them because in recent memory, when was the last time Gonzaga went to the national championship? Silence. So the last school that we can say that made a big impact, other than Kenneth Farid and that wild run, it was Butler. Other than that, nobody else has done it. So I'm not saying eliminate them, but rather let's not reward them with such high seeding, which dilute the product. And Santa Clara at best should have been a 12. St. Mary's at best should have been an 11. Gonzaga at best should have been a 5. So let's not keep rewarding these schools based on, I don't know, so high seedings in the tournament.
I mean, I don't want to keep, but I guess this is March Madness, so I guess we gotta kind of stick with the
Yeah,
madness
the
at this point.
madness. It's just the madness.
This it's been a couple like things like so UConn fans and other fans are complaining about times and schedules. My guy, like I remember watching these games up until almost 1 a.m. So I don't. This generation, it pisses me off so bad. What this generation does. Oh, we complaining we
But
can't watch the games. It's Sunday. We
you
can't go
see,
to the games. Bitch, take the day off.
that's the thing too, bro. When
Like
we
I
was talking
can't do
about
it no more.
the conference changing, the conference switching, where you got a Big East school that's on
Hmm.
the East Coast, but now you in that Midwest, you in that Midwest West Conference or something like that. Now, when you go to play at that school, you got to play at that time zone.
I mean, the only reason why I think UConn got put on the 10 p.m. slot, and I was talking about it with Heckendon the other day with Heck, was this main reason. I don't know if you guys agree or not with me. The NCAA committee compensated giving such a high seating to UConn at number 2 with making them play at 10 o'clock in Philly. They knew that St. John's deserved the number 2, Yukon and number 3 or 4, even 5. They lost the tournament. So basically, it was a kind of like a compensation mechanism. Okay, we gave them the number 2, but make them play. We are basketball fans through and through. We are purists, but not everyone is gonna stay until 1 a.m. watching those late night.
I tried. I fell asleep.
I was out.
So you see what I'm saying? So UConn, a marquee program, a team, a school that has won two out of the last 3 national championships, they were placed at 10 p.m. on the 10 p.m. slot. That slot is saved for Hawaii, like those schools that nobody's going to watch the first round game. Let's get it over with and see you tomorrow. But UConn got punished because of that. That's my theory, that it was kind of like a compensation mechanism of the seeding that they got.
Yeah. Well, I say it like this, man. At this point, wherever you seed it, just got to go out there and play the game, man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like if you get scheduled against these teams. If you get scheduled against these teams in the regular season, you got to play and beat them. So when I see seeding, I do think that it plays a role in what you do in regards to the tournament, because you get a chance for some. Well, honestly, now these days you see is no relaxing in this tournament anyway. You can play against a high point
anyone.
You know what I'm saying? So seeding is really something where it's kind of dangerous anyway. Like Duke almost lost against Siena. Like, honestly, y'all probably would never, if they'd lost that game, Eddie, you'd have never seen me again.
Exactly. No, of course, we knew that, but we already had the rest in peace thumbnail and everything, set up. But let me tell you something. Now that we are in the topic, going back to my previous point, Texas, the Texas Longhorns proved my point 100%. I would rather see an 11 seed Texas coming to the tournament like they came in limping. This is a team that has won 3 games in 5 days. This is a team that is going to be a problem to get out of the tournament. Why? Because of the competition throughout the year. They have Sean Miller, one of the best head coaches in the last 20 years in the NFL, in the NCAA, actually. My bad on that. Xavier, Arizona, going back to Xavier, now in Texas. This is a team that can be a problem. Now, will I say the same thing if Sean Miller was coaching a Xavier team? No. So coming from a big school holds weight. Playing top-level talent all year long holds weight. So that's the type of team that you want to see. An 11 seed Texas doing a playing game into the tournament that that can do damage, instead of those Macaroni State, Tuscaloosa community colleges, and all those mid-major small schools getting these 4th and 3 and 4 seedings with which other schools with more weight on their schedule and their playing and their conferences had throughout the year.
Well, I see it like that in a way where, too, if you look at some of the conferences, when you look at like NC State, for example, right? If NC State was in the Atlantic 10 conference, NC State more than likely would have ran through the whole conference.
They would have won the tournament. So basically, you are punishing. I mean, NC State has to play Virginia. They have to play the Duke Blue Devils, the North Carolina Tar Heels, and they still made it. So basically, when you give them that play-in, you're basically just punishing them. NC State is a team which, by the way, I had them winning that game, the play-in. NC State is a team that should have been a 10th seed going straight into the first round because of the level of competition that they had throughout the year. And just like Ant said, had NC State play Dayton, Temple, and George Washington, all these shenanigans schools, NC State would have run with their conference.
Yeah, this is the beauty of it, though, because now St. John's is going to beat Kansas today.
You best believe that.
Oh yeah,
you heard it.
We got it. It's down. It don't even matter if you. It don't matter if you heard it here from you. Did you put that in your bracket?
Yes, it is in my bracket.
Okay, I think it's in our brackets. So y'all can't. No, it's etched in stone at this point. So anything else, you just lying. So if you say St. John's going to be Kansas, but you got Kansas in your bracket, you're lying. And I'm going to check it because I've been checking it. And that's how I know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. That's why you heard what I said. I like Michigan. I think Michigan gonna go all the way to the finals.
But you have to stick to your guns.
Now,
But you're a Duke
before
fan. You got to stick to
But
that
Duke,
shit.
nah, I mean
Like, that's
honestly,
too
because
much.
we're one. Duke is one of, and I'm saying it, one of three schools that can possibly beat Michigan. One of three.
Well, you already beat us. The
That's
reason
what
why I got to
that's
fuck
what I'm
why I
saying. We
text you
want
the
to
other
see
day.
us. What you call it?
Pay up for my bet.
I still like Arkansas. I still like Bama. Those are the schools. Arizona too is one of the schools that. But so that's it. It's like four schools if they can get there.
Let me tell you something. I don't like none of them. Okay.
look,
I like absolutely none of them. I don't care about none of them. I'm watching because it's one of the greatest fucking tournaments on planet Earth.
Yeah,
Right?
this
There's
has
nothing
been
else
beautiful,
that
man.
compares. It is and it's the purest. It is the purest tournament that we'll ever see.
Mm-hmm.
It's the purest tournament we'll ever see.
When you see these kids
And
crying with the towel over their head, and
yes,
that's
like you get no better. It's their last time in college.
mm-hmm.
It's their, you know what I'm saying? It might be their last hurrah for as seniors, fifth year seniors. Some of them are seven. Who knows? Those are the weirdos.
Some of them
yeah,
might not even make the G
Go
League.
ahead. Go ahead, Felipe. Felipe, the ambassador. Go ahead.
yeah. I mean, March Madness arguably holds the distinction of perhaps being the best sporting event in our nation. The Super Bowl is a 1 day thing. March Madness is 2 weeks of pure craziness. People take the day off. You get to know schools that you didn't even know exist. I mean, come on, who knew before the tournament where High Point was located? The Furman Paladins. What kind of nickname Paladins is that? So
Yeah.
the
Now
tournament.
I knew High Point because I went to school in North Carolina, but I would have never thought for them to be. Like I
Exactly.
said, I know High Point, but I didn't know there was a High Point University.
Yeah,
Like
and
I knew High Point, North Carolina, which is the furniture capital of the world. Like honestly, I knew that from when I went to school in North Carolina, but I never heard of High Point University. That would have
so
been one of the schools I would have thought would have been in my school's conference on Division Two.
So for those of us that love the game of basketball, basically this is heaven right now because we all know how watered down the NBA is nowadays, and
Uh-oh.
many of us don't start watching up until February or even now March or even the playoffs. You got people that are going to start watching the NBA now in April in the playoffs because the product that they are putting on the court is so watered down. So basically, the NCAA tournament is heaven for purists, for real basketball fans. And going back to the St. John's Red Storm topic, I think it's going to be a close one. We are going to win that game, and the sole reason why we're going to win that game is because of the most hated man in the NCAA, Mr. Rick Pitino. Rick Pitino is going to pull tricks out of the bags that people ain't seen before. This is a team that will play with tenacity, that play with physicality. Remember, Kansas is a very talented team. And to coming into the tournament, if my St. John's Red Storm beat Kansas today, that'll be a big testament of how dangerous this team can be going deep into the tournament. I have them not getting all the way to the Final Four, but this will be a big test. And if Pitino can pull this wing as he has always done, it will be a big statement going in following the tournament.
So, all right, before I move on to the next topic or whatever, so you saying that pulling out all the tricks. There's one thing I have to say that I've seen, and one going back to the Duke game yesterday, and my squad and a couple others that I've watched, obviously. Wide open dunks on pick and rolls or screens coming off the other side. Actual plays working. No ISOs. Oh, I got to ISO shoot the three. Like I seen yesterday 2 times Cameron Boozer setting the pick for his brother. Boom, wide open layup. Vice versa. Mara doing what he do off the block. And people wide open for dunks, layups, and ones. People coming over rotating late. Yo, these plays still work. The fundamentals of basketball still works. And I don't understand why the NBA feels that they have to go away from it or have went away from it. But did you see some of the traveling calls that were called yesterday
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
and prior to? Like, so why doesn't that carry? Because they're supposed to get ready for the next level, right? So you're high school, college, NBA. That's the pros, whatever. You make it there. This is not the same. So I take this little shuffle step here and I get called for a travel. When I get to the NBA, I'm allowed 6 steps.
Mhm.
Like, how does that translate? How would you, are you setting me up for failure or are you not? Because that's not okay. Like, we still are playing the game the correct way in college basketball through the big man. If your guard is good, the pick and rolls, the screens, it is pure basketball still, regardless to the NILs and all of that shit. The emotions, the competitiveness, not wanting to lose, all of the above. And we're sending them to trash, honestly.
I
That's
mean,
that's just
I
mine.
mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to something simple. The NCAA tournament is predicated on competition. The NBA as a league is predicated on entertainment. So nowadays, you would rather see not me, the NBA per se, rather see a Luka Doncic fade away with 5 steps from midcourt and make it count than the pure sound solid basketball play. So the NBA, since its nature is entertainment, they rather look at the scoring in the games. Look at the Bam game when he had the 83. Uh, I still think about it and I get a headache. It's a disgrace to the sport.
Mhm.
In that Bam game, the Miami Heat already had around 83 point. He had 83 points in the whole game, but the Miami Heat had around 130 points with like 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. To put it in context, when Kobe had his 60 points, the Lakers scored 101 points the whole game. So the competition of the NBA is so watered down. They are so focused on the entertainment part of the business. At the end of the day, it's a business
Mm-hmm.
that they are shying away of enforcing the rules, of enforcing the right processes, just like the NCAA does. You do more than 3 steps, it's going the other way right away. We are here to play. It's a competition, not an entertainment. It entertain us. I mean, what is more entertaining than the March Madness? But they play within the rules. The NBA, due to the entertainment part, they don't.
That's why the huge conversation is always when it comes to college sports between. There's always been that battle between football and basketball, right? Football, they develop you all the way up to prepare for what you're going to see once you hit that NFL. The rules, there's minor rules that change, right, in regards to the way the game is played. Of course, there's going to be collegiate NFL rules that differ a bit, but the style is still the style. NBA from college basketball, like Ed was saying, it's about what attracts viewership, right? You got this new age where everything has to look sexy, or it's just not right. Everybody got to score quick, or it's just not right. We That's why we still gravitate towards college basketball because of the plays, the back. Like if I sit there and I watch a game, and out of nowhere I just catch a glance, I'm like, oh shit, good pass. I don't get to do that when I'm watching the NBA game because it's not there. Their good pass is, oh, my step back travel didn't work, so now let me throw this lob to Clint Capella, right? Because it's just I'm in traffic now. There are no plays. There are the sets are straight up high pick and roll. That's it. That's what they run. That's what they run. They run the high pick and roll, and then that's it. Whatever comes from it. I'm, but like you said, I watch so many different variations of plays against the zone, against against the press. I've seen so much like, yo, that makes me so happy to watch. But when it gets to the NBA, that's why we can't really tune in until the playoffs, because that's when you get to see different sets, different dynamics, different plays. It's like they're coasting all year. And then once they get to the playoffs, we start to see more of what we want to see. And as far as the basketball game, because I watched, oh my God, it was a play they ran against the 2-3. I said, yo, this is crazy. Where the low man set a screen on the top man on a 2-3. The guard came around. When he came around, the wingman on that had the corner three came through and set now a screen on the center in the middle of the 2-3. And then the other man from the other wing, he just slid right up under the basket. And it was a play every single time. It was a bucket. I was like, yo, that's basketball. That's basketball. And the NBA players, I don't get it. Because then once they get to the NBA, they forget how to break the zone. If you ever watch those teams that go into a zone, they don't even know how to break it no more. I'm like, yo, y'all know how to break the zone? Y'all know how to pass to the top? Y'all know how to pass to the top of the free throw? And the man turn around and now y'all know how to break that? So
Too much ISO.
yeah, that's all. It's isolated basketball. They
It's too
want to
much
see
like
you score
entertainment.
120 points. It's not sexy to score 88 points. Like, they're not paying tickets to see 88 points. I would pay to see that. Honestly, I used to like, a lot of people don't like this finals, but I love that finals. The Pistons against the Spurs in 04. I love that finals.
Mr. Larry Brown.
Right. It was chess. It was Larry Brown versus Popovich playing chess.
Two of the best to ever do it.
And going back to Heck's point, the main problem that I see with the NBA at the moment is the lack of physicality. It has become, like my favorite term when it comes to the NBA nowadays is watered down league, but also a soft league. When you see these kids
you can't tell them that though.
Hustling, tenacity, toughness. These kids, I mean, you got the UCLA kid bleeding from his mouth with a chipped tooth, fixed the tooth, put something on it, and came back to the court like a man.
Shit's in his gums. Like, you see this shit like up there. He was like, the shit you yo, son, I was just thinking I was like, yo, we see that in the NBA right now. These motherfuckers is gone for 2 weeks. Talking about they need cosmetic surgery, all types of the bullshit, right? This motherfucker said, I'm good. Let me go. Give me a moment. Go back in. You know what I'm saying? Like, where is you? Yo, listen. The skirts, the LaMelo Balls.
Exactly.
The Russell Westbrooks. And I love Russell Westbrook as a goddamn player. He's a dog. But the skirts, the James Hardens. Like, you could go down to fucking the Dwayne Wades teaching their sons. And Dwayne Wade was a dog, top 5 shooting guard ever to play the game. But what did you do? What did y'all do to this game in a certain way? I can't. Like, y'all are bitches. Sorry. This is a bunch of bitches. This is Joanna Mans playing basketball against each other. A whole bunch of Joanna Mans.
That's why they got the WNBA thinking they deserve more money. If y'all gonna be like if y'all gonna be like us, y'all might as well pay us to be like that. I mean, y'all gonna be like women. Pay us like them. Pay us like the men. Then.
Heck, before you move on to the next topic, let me tell you this about the NBA. The thing that is going to fix the NBA is going back to the basics. Become a physical league, become a tough league, become a league that is predicated on tenacity, on defense. The NBA didn't get popular at its height in the 80s, you know, with the Celtics, with the Pistons, then the advent of Jordan and the Bulls, based on having 126 game every night. It predicated, I mean, the bad boys, the Detroit Pistons, had Vinnie Johnson, the microwave. Rick Mahorn just came to the game solely to foul people, to hit people. So that's the type of basketball that fans want to watch in order to tune in again.
Not today. Not today. What up, unapologetic manhood? He's a Duke fan as well. But yo, like, all right. So moving on, let's say we in the NBA right now. Let's get off the March Madness just a little bit. We got LeBron breaking another record of games played. I don't know what's going on here. KD also broke a record. He's past Michael Jordan on the scoring list. I don't know what do you guys think about this, like moving forward, because like all these records are kind of diminishing our greats. For that's what we think, right? Obviously, us watching it, and I say it all the time. Like I probably said it before. We got to see all of these players, and we're still watching these players due to the fact that we are still alive. So why doesn't the younger generation trust us to tell you what the fuck we seen when you only seen this? You're only seeing LeBron. You're only seeing now moving forward Victor Wembanyama, right? You're only seeing these guys because you weren't born yet. So you can't trust the person that watched everyone at its height, at basketball at its height. We're not talking about the Will Chamberlain, Bill Russell, where it was 11 teams and blah, 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 blah. We're not talking about that. We talk about the height of basketball after Larry Bird and Magic Johnson saved it from college, mind you. They saved it from college, from their college duo basketball rivalry into the NBA. Let's not forget that point. Michael Jordan wasn't good in high school. He got cut from his fucking team. Let's put it out there. But then he wasn't even the best player on North Carolina. LeBron James was from high school.
He's been the best player in the world since he's in the 10th grade.
Says here in 10th grade, right? Okay, so what? But he didn't beat Carmelo, right? Like, come on, man. Like, Carmelo ain't got a championship freshman year. Regardless, we had that conversation about McNamara. But guess what? We talked about Villanova as well. Somebody saving somebody, but he carried the squad through. He carried them through the season, things of that nature. Michael Jordan was not the best player on North Carolina. James Worthy was.
And Sam Perkins was instrumental.
Was, one of the better players. He happened to have a play drawn up for him, and then he took off from there. But he had to go through the fire. Exactly. Kobe, even though Kobe he didn't go to college, but he went through the fire. Kevin Garnett, he went through the fire. They weren't great coming into this league. To me, it seems set up. To me, it just seems set up. Like, I don't know, because his bag is trash. That's what the kids call it nowadays. His bag is trash.
I mean, I don't know if it's set up, but let me tell you something, heck, real quick. My main argument against the LeBron sexuals, when it comes to the argument of who's better, if it's LeBron James or Michael Jordan, I'm always going to pick Michael Jordan. And the sole reason for that is the level of competition. So when it comes down to all these records, games played, points scored, rebounds, assists, minutes played per game, etc., again, not taking anything away from LeBron James. This is a 1 in a million specimen of athleticism. This is one of the greatest athletes overall in all sports that we've ever seen. But when it comes to the game of basketball,
and so was Randy Moss.
When it comes to the game of basketball, the sole reason why records nowadays or stature within who's better and who's under comes is the level of competition. The league is watered down. It's a soft league that does not rely on physicality. There is no tenacity. There is no intensity in every game like we saw in the 70s, 80s, and 90s when you had someone like Joe Dumars holding Jordan to 19, 20, 21 points each time they met. Nowadays, any hobo off the street can put up 21, 25. I mean, for God's sake, Joe Johnson put up 30 points per game back-to-back seasons. When Bernard King in the 80s put up 30 points per game with the Knicks didn't average more than 90 points a game. So the level of competition in the league has become so watered down that the standard is so low that anybody can succeed. It's basically the state of society. We're giving participation trophies to kids. You finish 10th, here you go. Here's a medal for you. We're not rewarding effort. We're not rewarding physicality. We're not rewarding defense. We're basically rewarding, can you shoot? Can you penetrate through the lane and put a little layup? And that's it. The 1980s and the 1990s were the golden age of basketball because physicality, tenacity, and intensity were rewarded over showmanship. So basically, you wanted to score 30 points like Jordan, you had to create.
That's good, Savage.
You had to create ways to get those 30 points. Nowadays, anybody can come into the league. I mean, for us that we're contemporaries, when you heard 20, 30 years ago that someone scored 20,000 points in their career, it was like the epitome of greatness. When somebody, oh my God, this guy, Barkley, is 2,000 points shy from 20,000 points. It was like the epitome. Now, from 2005 on, look how many players have scored 20,000 points. Do the comparison.
Jordan is going to fall to like 8,
exactly.
9,
exactly
10 before this is all said and done, and be like disregarded as the GOAT period when we're all said and done, and we're gonna have zero opinion about this shit. So like zero opinion, son, unless we come back reincarnated and do this all again, like in some different way. There's no fucking way, son.
That's what I said last week.
KD just passed Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we all praise KD for his efficiency, for his shooting, for his offense, the way he plays the game. He's one of the probably the basketball purists that we have around, just wanting to play the game. Come on. We're not taking KD over Jordan. Depending on your squad, right? That's what we say. Depending on your squad, but on any squad. Are we taking KD over Jordan, right?
What squad it is? No.
Because Jordan's in your shooting guard and KD's your power forward, right? So, or your small forward, depending on the squad.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Your small forward, depending on the squad, because we've had those squads for him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I can't do it with the records and where it cements some of these people and our record books, and it makes the younger generation thinks that these other people weren't great. They the Allen Iversons of the world.
I mean,
the Shaqs of the world,
bro. When you look at a guy
thinking that they're better than what was before them, and you got to understand something, man. Well, one thing first off, shout out to Kevin Durant. He is a good player. I really think that he's
a great player, not even good. He's a great player. Go ahead.
He's a level of talent where you got to give him at some point, right? I put him in that top 15 to 20 range. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I put Kevin Durant. Some got him as high as top 10.
Let me ask you a question though. Let me ask you a question due to you watching basketball, how you watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm about to cut you off from your point, but I just want to know, as Kevin Durant, as great as he is,
mm-hmm.
good as he is, skill-wise,
mm-hmm.
top 15?
Player in history?
I can't put him in the top 10, but I say top 15. He's in that range.
It's
because when you look at who's right on the outside of that, you got some people who was putting Kobe on the outside of that top 10.
But that's haters though. That's haters.
Kobe's top 5. But Kevin Durant, I wouldn't put him in the top 15. Going back to Heck's point, DeMar DeRozan, he's ranked number 18. He's number 18.
All right, we can mute the comments, right?
No. But let me tell you something. the 20,000 point club has become such a joke that you have DeMar DeRozan in the top 25. When back in the day, if you look at the top 10, we have LeBron, Kareem, Karl Malone, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, Michael Jordan, Nowitzki, Chamberlain, Harden, and Shaquille O'Neal. The majority of I mean, it's 50-50. It's half this era, half the era before. But when you look up after the top 10, you have a bunch of players that you're like, what is this guy doing in the top 20, in the top 30 of scoring of all time? So going back to the KD is not a top
James
15.
Harden. James Harden.
James Harden he sits at number 9 in the all-time scoring list. So over Tim Duncan, over John Havlicek, over etc.
And are we ever going to consider James Harden better than Tim Duncan? Like this is where records. That's what. Listen, I kid you not. One of the first shows that I ever did was do stats tell the whole story. I know you remember that shit.
No, they don't.
And it doesn't. It doesn't. Just because you play longer. Jordan retired twice. He came back at 40 as part owner of the Washington Wizards. He did that shit for fun. He played baseball because his dad wanted him to play baseball. He quit on his own and decided to leave the sport. He was also hurt in one of his first seasons that he had to take off. LeBron James has never been hurt for a season or X amount of games to where he's been out for a certain amount of time. Like,
Kevin Durant.
I can't.
Kevin Durant is not a top 15 player. Again, nothing against the man. Phenomenal player. He's not a top 15 player because the sole reason is that, first of all, he's not the best player of this era. And second, he's not even the best player in his position of the last 25 years. So in essence, you have a player that have accumulated stats. I mean, he's
give me that person.
Hold on 1 second. He's sitting high. I mean, he's over Jordan now. He passed Jordan, but stats sometimes do not tell the whole story. It's the equivalent of Mr. Rap Deer with the Detroit Tigers in the 1980s.
I can agree with that.
The guy could hit you 35 home runs, but he will hit 180. So at the end of the day, yes, Kevin Durant has scored more points than Mr. Michael Jordan, the greatest ever to do it. But that doesn't solely put him automatically in the top 15, because off the top of my head, I can tell you 15 players that have been better on every aspect than Kevin Durant, historically and in the past 25, 30 years. And I'm not saying he's not a good player. I'm not saying he's not a phenomenal player, but he has to be considered within the top 25, not the top 15. Come on.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Because it's like players that I put.
Yeah.
There's players that I feel are in that bracket, and this is where the nonsense really coming with these errors, man. You know what I'm saying? Like errors mean something. It's the strength of the era and who you played against. Like you don't. Charles Barkley's in the top 15, right? He's not top 10, but he's definitely top 15.
So we're saying all time, and you know I got Charles Barkley in my top 5. Like don't get that twisted. I got Charles Barkley. That's my opinion.
He's honestly
in the top 3.
He's top 2.
Listen, you know how I feel, and that's it, right?
That's it. Nobody else. But
okay,
as far as all time, I can't put him in the top 10. I can't put him in the top 10. But I give him always like in that 11, 12 for Charles Barkley. Then it's hard
because he don't have no rings.
Right. It's hard to dismiss a Dr. J. Right? It's hard to dismiss.
There's a comment right there.
In all fairness, it's hard to dismiss a Dirk Nowitzki.
So
it's hard to dismiss a Moses Malone. It's hard to dismiss these guys. who were really, really dominant players.
There was a good comment there by someone, someone in our audience called Philly, saying that Westbrook, the best example is Westbrook. He put up big numbers, yet what can we say about Westbrook? So it's right there.
No, I know. I put it up. What I'm mean is like, but
Let me
we're
tell you.
not. We're gonna look at. Did you not see the putback dunk that he had like last night or the night before? Like Russell Westbrook's motor never stops. He's just one of those players. Like he plays the game for the love, right? That's one player who's gonna play until he feels he can't give any more to any team
His
himself.
numbers say,
He'll come off the
his
bench.
His numbers say he's a top 5 point guard that ever played.
And this is what I'm talking about. Listen, at the end of the day, we got Scott Skiles who's had 30 assists. Well, we not Scott Skiles isn't breaking anywhere. Like where as best player ever.
So,
right? So
I forgot the name of the person that left the comment. By the way, make sure you hit the like, comment, subscribe, share the show. Thank you for tuning in, and let's get growing here in What the Heck Sports. This is my top 15. This is my top 15. This is my top 15. And the of course, Jordan number 1. You got to put Jordan 1, LeBron 2, Kareem 3. I'll go with Magic at 4, Bill Russell at 5, Wilt 6, Larry Bird 7. Then I'm gonna put Tim Duncan top 10, and I have Tim Duncan.
It has to be
Tim Duncan at 8, Shaq at 9, and Kobe at 10. You know, that's my top 10. So for those last 5
it's
players,
not a bad list.
No. So for
those, that's pretty much honestly where most people stand.
So this is where it's gonna get ugly, because my last 5 to complete those top 15 are gonna be Hakeem at 11. Then I'm gonna put Karl Malone at 12. I'll beat no ring. And then I'll have Jerry West, the great Jerry West, at 13. And then I'll have Oscar Robertson, the original Westbrook. And at 15, I'll have Charles Barkley. The only reason why I don't have Barkley top 10 is because he didn't win a championship, Karl Malone either. So
no, he didn't say Kyrie.
I didn't mention Kyrie Irving. I didn't mention Steph Curry.
No.
I didn't.
No, we're not talking about that.
That's the name.
But that's what you're bugging.
That's the name. That's the
let me before I let you go.
And you put Carmelo before you put Kevin Durant, which is blasphemous at that point. Like
no, I never put Carmelo. Carmelo is not in my top 15. Carmelo is not.
You didn't?
No, he didn't say Carmelo.
Come on, bro.
He said Jerry West.
No Carmelo on my list.
Karl Malone, he said.
Karl Malone. But
Karl Malone.
Here's my reason.
Okay.
Steph Curry and Kevin Durant sit outside that top 15. So that's why I put them top 25 ever, not top 15. Because to get
Steph Curry's not top 25, son.
No, Steph Curry is top 15, closer to top 12.
No. The only
12, 13. I honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. As much as I put Steph Curry above Charles Barkley.
I will not.
I would.
You have to.
I would.
And I'm a Charles Barkley fan.
4-time NBA champion.
And transcended the game, mind you. Allen Iverson gets disrespected for doing what he did, how he's transcended the game in different ways. Steph Curry has literally took this game and made it what it is due to his skill set.
Right.
Not anybody else nowadays. Everybody, Damian Lillard, everybody's trying to be Steph Curry. I want to shoot from the logo. I want to do this. People wasn't doing that. And in his profession and his contemporaries, he's damn near perfected that. And I'll say that because of what he does. But other than that, there's no fucking way, he's not top 10.
And that's the argument. That's the argument where I've seen a lot of people have over the last 10 years is how can we continuously call LeBron a GOAT when he hasn't transcended the game like a Steph Curry did, who was in the league at the same time as him.
This is let me tell you
slapped
something.
him up.
let me tell you something. This is a topic that we can spend a whole show in it, discussing it for the sole reason that we can't contradict ourselves. I am trying to be as objective and as linear as possible. If I tell you that LeBron James is not the greatest player ever for the sole reason that he has played against one of the worst competitions ever witnessed by basketball fans of all time, I cannot put a player like Steph Curry shooting from midcourt and just dangling around in 150, 140 games every night over people like Moses Malone, over Oscar Robertson, over Charles Barkley that went 9 in and 9 out, just hustling it out. I'm not saying Steph Curry is not a good player. I'm not saying Kevin Durant is not a good player. I'm just saying for the overall body of work, we need to, personally, I put those players at 16 and 17. Top 20, that's not bad. But top 15 is tough. Notice how the majority of the players that are on the list, not Barkley or Carmelo, won championships, won MVPs, were instrumental to the league, but the majority of them didn't play in this era. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know.
So I think where we lose at, I think where all of us as sports fans and people who watch the game and the way it's played, I think we all lose in the simple fact that it actually almost might come down to stats. Right? Because when we go and start looking at things, we start looking at rings, we start looking at numbers. That's where we're not looking at just game. Like I said, LeBron James' game is not fucking great. Like, he's never shot 80% from the free throw line, right? He doesn't shoot 40 something percent from the 3-point range, right? He was a physical specimen, right? That's unguardable in certain ways, but he's made himself guardable, which is crazy to me. Point guard could check LeBron James while he's bringing the ball up. What center can guard LeBron James if you set any kind of screen or pick for him? What small forward can guard him? He is probably should be the best all-around player, and he's made himself smaller than he actually was. I went to see LeBron as a rookie. I went to Indiana Celtics game, and I was like, we're about to find the person that's better than Jordan. We have the individual that's better than Jordan. I have to go see him. I made it my mission. I saved up a few dollars. I went to the fucking game. I went with them NBA jeans on where I had all the teams on them and all that shit, right? Like I went ready, right? My guy, the disappointment that I have inside of me right now because he didn't live up to fucking Jordan when I thought we had our guy. It's not even close. And this is where I get upset with people who think that these other guys. Listen, Dwayne Wade got a ring before LeBron, are we correct? He went and joined him.
Yeah, and also another underrated aspect of.
And we're gonna clown Kevin Durant. We're gonna clown Kevin Durant for going to get a ring with Steph Curry. Yeah, I can't beat you. I can't beat you, so I'm gonna join you. But we didn't have that whole fiasco out there where not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. Not these niggas counted to like 8, and they might have skipped 7. But all of a sudden, these niggas they couldn't even beat JJ Barea and Jason Terry. But we finna crown this kid that he put his own Burger King crown on.
And adding to your point,
and this is what we're doing.
Adding to your point, Heck, another underrated aspect before you go ahead and keep going. Another underrated aspect of Michael Jordan's career was that Jordan in 1988 won the Defensive Player of the Year, and Jeffrey Jordan was a 9-time first team all defensive team in the NBA. So Jordan, he put up 35 on you every night. He won the game, but he guarded the best player. He was a good defensive player, and not many players ever since you can say the same thing. Guys that can score 30, but can also be named as an all defensive team year in, year out. We're talking about Jordan made the team 9 times, and the majority of his career, he was among the best defenders in the National Basketball Association. So if
Jokic, Westbrook, right? Oscar Robinson. Let's talk about people who had triple doubles, and you are the specimen of a triple double. Your game is predicated on triple doubles. Harden, league leading scorer. Jordan, how many times? What has LeBron James done officially to dominate this era, but be above average? Not great, above average. Motherfucker, you a B plus A minus. Every year to get to where you've gotten to due to longevity, not the simple fact that you dominated your eras. You played in the weakest fucking Eastern Conference when Toronto, with Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, was your biggest competition, and the Indiana Pacers. That's your biggest shit? That's why Steph Curry kicked your ass. That's why everybody else beat you the fuck up. No matter what he did. And we sitting here, we actually have debates about this shit? How is it a fucking debate?
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't have that debate anymore. As I discussed, I'll leave that one alone. I'll leave that for the people who really don't know. If y'all, if y'all feel like you better, all right, whatever. We know. Those that know. When you're in the league at a time where you're the face of the league, but there's someone who's beating you. That's why you can't put Steph Curry anywhere outside the top 15. You can't. When Mike was dominating the league, he came in, he took his lumps, he was who he was killing everybody. But when he took his chance, this time as a winner, it was undisputed of who the man was. There was nobody.
Floyd Mayweather.
It was nobody who was going to be the face of that league. It was no one. You can compete, but you weren't winning. It wasn't going to game 7. When the man said, all right, let's put this shit away. We're putting it away. The man played golf, 18 holes, drank 1,700 beers, and then got on the court and then destroyed you. When this man that you guys are putting next to him as a specimen has $1 million chamber in
personal
his home.
Trainer.
He has a chef, personal trainer. The man don't smoke. The man he says he don't drink. He don't party. So stop.
The perfect person can't beat the best person. How the fuck does that happen?
It took him 20 years to pass him in scoring with 3-pointers as many 3-pointers they shoot. Even Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant kept it a buck. He said if Michael Jordan never retired, he'd have scored 50,000 in 20 years.
Mm-hmm. And we know this. I did this stat. We did this 3-4 years ago, right? So, we did all of this shit.
That goes back just to, honestly, I say all that to say, number one, that's why Steph Curry is not in the he's nothing less than 15. And I don't like these arguments because every time we put more people in the top 15, it pushes Isaiah out of the top 25. And
well, that's when you got to break it down to categories at that point.
I'm like, yo, man, every time we do this, it puts Isaiah somewhere back in the boonies.
Further out.
And I'm like, come on, man. No, let's not disrespect my boy. But there's something else that we really and I said this before. If the numbers don't matter, the person we really need to be taking out that top 10 is Bill Russell.
Yeah. That's what the fuck was his numbers? But 11 championships. You're strictly basing his. You're just basically shit on championship rings. You're not basing his shit on actual numbers.
Not necessarily.
Will be the GOAT of that era, right?
Not necessarily.
The best of that era was still Will Chamberlain.
not
Will
necessarily.
Chamberlain.
I mean, you can't take Big Russell because it's an asinine a premise, because it will be the equivalent of saying let's take Babe Ruth because he hit 700 home runs when they will ride horses to the stadium. At the end of the day, Bill Russell was fundamental in popularizing the league. Remember, in the West, he played in the West Coast in the University of San Francisco. He helped popularize, expand the nature of this. The NBA used to be a very regional sport when he started in 1949. When the league was founded, it was an extremely regional Northeast. The game started here in Springfield, Massachusetts, by the way. The league was very regional. Bill Russell helped expand it. Bill Russell's, in essence, besides Will Chamberlain, was the first superstar. It amplified the audience for the NBA. So just for his influence, Barry Sanders in the NFL. Barry Sanders retired at 32
All right, let
years
me ask
old.
you a question though, Ed.
Go ahead.
If you had to break down eras, are you taking Bill Russell or Will?
Of course not. Will Chamberlain is going to be number
Okay.
one. But the sole reason why I put Bill Russell in the top 15 is because of the influence he had on the developing of the game of the. Go ahead.
Maybe that's the way they should be doing it though, right? Is who was the best of an era? Wilt was the best of that era.
So
Only one era that gets shared. Honestly, because I don't even give Jordan the 80s. I give Jordan the 90s.
Because that was Bird and Magic.
Right. You put
Exactly.
them two
And you want to
together,
take just Magic.
you got it. Them two go hand in hand. Like you can't say one without the other. Just like in all actuality, you can't say Stockton without Malone. Like them two, they go together. So them two, they actually like Steve said earlier, and as everybody knows and agrees, Bird and Magic saved the NBA. They are the reason why we have live games now instead of tape delay. They're the reason why everybody wanted to start playing again. So it was them two. Then when you go to the 90s, without a doubt, right? It's
Michael Jordan. The 2000s, Kobe.
2000s was cold. But see, and that's another thing, but then that's where it get tricky too, because even though, Kobe was the guy, you can't just eliminate Tim Duncan, right?
You can't eliminate Tim Duncan. Exactly. So you
can't
got to put him
eliminate
in
Tim
there.
Duncan. So you have to put him in
90.
there.
What was he? Was his first one 99?
99, yeah.
99, and that was the what's the name, right? That was the
lockout, yeah, against the Knicks.
Yeah, the lockout against the Knicks when it'd be Spreewell and Marcus Camby in them.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but like after that, you just sprinkling in everybody else and LeBron. And the person that he played the most against, he played in the finals against, was Steph Curry. And Steph Curry beat him, regardless to how he beat him. Steph Curry still plays for the Golden State Warriors, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are we all in agreement? I mean, do we still see this? He still plays for the Golden State Warriors. He started his career there. He's still there. The person that he matched up against had switched teams 3 times to try to do what for himself. Steph Curry has went through the fire. Kobe Bryant went through the fire. Michael Jordan went through the fire.
Even Dirk went through the fire.
Why are we? Who else?
Dirk
went through the fire and beat LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
With the not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but switching
with
teams,
fireworks. Like, come on. Come on, man. Come on. Because he switched teams to try to win. He switched teams to try to win.
Yeah, but
he didn't switch teams because he was bored. He switched teams to try to win. He's from Cleveland. He got drafted to Cleveland, his home, where he went back and abandoned the Miami Heat after he did that whole conference.
Which they rigged that draft so he can get there.
That is a good argument, switching teams and all of that to win. But in sports in general, it's hard staying with one team. When you look at a guy like Charles Barkley, started with the Sixers, going to the Phoenix Suns, couldn't win there, moved to the Houston Rockets, trying to win there. So it doesn't hold so much
That's in
weight.
the ladder of your career. That's in the
Yeah,
ladder of your
yeah,
career.
but
Philadelphia
let's
76ers
be
were
but
clear
for
not
about one
popping at
though.
that time.
but for LeBron,
He
but
went
for
to
Le,
Phoenix, but he got traded to Houston. He
but
didn't.
for
He didn't that.
LeBron, it holds more weight playing in such a lack of competitiveness league than switching teams. I mean, when you look at a guy like Paolo Maldini, AC Milan, you know, I'm the soccer expert of the show. He spent 27 years with the same club. It's hard. It's hard in professional sports to have your Derek Jeters, your Joe Mauers, your Steph Curry's, players that are drafted by the squad and spend their whole career, especially nowadays. I mean, for God's sake, we cannot keep the kids in the same school with the NIL, nevertheless, in the professional level. So LeBron switching teams and the decision and all of that doesn't hold as much weight on why he's not the best ever to do it, on the lack of talent, the lack of competitiveness and physicality, tenacity, the softness of the league that he has played
Because
in.
he couldn't dominate
He
on
couldn't get
any
it done.
team he switched to. Where was the domination of any team he switched to, and why did he switch there? His best time he probably had was Dwayne Wade, honestly, right? Because you had Chris Bosh with that, right? But then you got Kyrie Irving. We have Kyrie Irving. If you just want to talk about skill level, let's talk about skill level with Kyrie Irving, right? You got him. He's the one who hit the shot. You. So what has he actually done? We talk about that block. Where was his shot? Michael Jordan had the steal and the shot.
And the
What
shot
are you
before,
doing?
and the shot before the steal.
We're not going to keep doing this and putting LeBron in any kind of category. Oh, he got a block.
Now that was
So
a dope
what?
block.
I don't
That
care
was
if
a
it
dope
was
block.
dope. It might have been, but guess what? It don't matter if it was a dope block. Guess what? He didn't hit the dope shot.
Jordan will be the greatest ever, and it's an argument that the generations will keep passing. I mean, they trying to rewrite history, but Jordan is going to keep being the great. Michael, there has not been another basketball player with the cultural, social, and sport impact that Mr. Michael Jeffrey Jordan did. This is a guy that
Ooh, this. And MJ and old heads. Oh, let's just talk about it then.
no, I
Those
mean,
zone defenses. Go ahead, come on, Derpy, whoever Derpy is. I don't know who you are, but appreciate you for joining in and appreciate you saying fuck us old heads, because I'm with the smoke. Let's go.
at the end of the day, my argument is simple, and shout out to Derpy and everyone tuning in, the audience, like, comment, share, subscribe. The argument is simple, and I'm not going to deviate from it. I'm not going to make a spectacle of myself. I'm not going to get loud and noisy. Michael Jordan played in a tougher era. If you look at the teams that did not win a championship because of Mr. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, the Utah Jazz, the Seattle Supersonics, the Portland Trail Blazers, the Pistons, he took them out of the way. So the Phoenix Suns, there were so many good, my New York Knicks. What better example than that? So many good teams that did not win a championship solely for the presence of Mr. Michael Jeffrey Jordan in the NBA. The level of competition. I'm not saying the level of athleticism. Players nowadays are more
Really,
athletic.
Derpy?
That's why you're getting players like a LeBron, players that are very athletic, but athleticism is higher. Competition is at an all-time low. So Jordan played in an era where the competition was at its peak. We have not seen such competition from the NBA's from the 1990 to the early 2000, 2001, 2002. When that happened, that's when the decline gradually we saw it.
So we going with no 3-point shooting, Derpy, like today. All right. So what? So Jordan hit 6 threes and a half against the Portland Trail Blazers in a finals game. So what do you mean there's no 3-point shooting like today? That wasn't the way the game was played, bro. The game was played in within an offense that the coach ran for you and set up for you if you were the best person like Michael
A
Jordan,
three
like
was
Kobe
a
Bryant, Phil
specialty.
Jackson.
That was a specialty shot.
Exactly.
That wasn't something. That wasn't a part of what you ran. That was a specialty shot. That line was put there as a gimmick, right? It was something they put there as a gimmick. You can use it. It's there for you. Not just come down and make that the main emphasis of any offense.
Every team had a 3-point specialist. I mean,
Right.
the Chicago Bulls were the only team that had a bench player. For the bench player, that was a 3-point specialist. So basically, Steve Kerr came into the game 5-6 minutes. He hit a couple of threes. He could go to the bench. But they also had Judd Butler, number 30 for the Chicago Bulls, that he was also a 3-point specialist that just came in when the game was tied on, when they needed a couple of fast points.
Mhm.
And you saw that type of player around the league a lot. You had Dale Ellis, you had Rex Chapman, you have Del Curry, Stephen Curry's dad. He was a 3-point specialist, a guy that will coming into the game and just do that. The last examples of that, it could be said it was like around 15 years ago, when you have players like Leandrinho Barbosa for the Phoenix Suns, that it was a guy that just came into the game and he'll hit a couple of threes and he'll go back to the bench. Hiro Turkoglu, Peja Stojakovic, those were players. Detlef Schrempf for the Seattle Supersonics and Portland Trailblazers that just came into the game to shoot threes and go back to the bench, because the game was physical. The game was it was tenacious. It was up tempo. It was played in the paint, not in the perimeter, shooting balls from midcourt like they doing nowadays.
I don't disagree with that, Derpy. I don't. That's something I've had that conversation as well. Where Kareem gets slighted a lot. He gets slighted a lot, man, in regards to what he did. But Kareem dominated at a way.
And when our brother Derpy says that bro's crying about nostalgia, I mean, it's not about
Michael Jordan took the game to a level of
it's not crying about nostalgia.
Athleticism and dominance,
it's facts,
which we've never seen before.
At the end of the day, it's facts over feelings, and at the end of the day, we need to keep it objective, and we need to keep it within the parameters of what's real and what's not. It's not about nostalgia. It's not about sentimentality or emotionality. It's pure facts. The NBA, the level of competition. I'm pretty sure most of you watching us in the audience have a cell phone with internet. So when the show is over, you can start doing your own research, compare points, compare defenses, compare. You have YouTube. You can do your own research. But if you're going to base an assumption or an argument based on who shoots the three or what's prettier or sexier, of course we're gonna say this era. But if we're gonna go back to the pure fundamentals of basketball and the way basketball is played, that we started the show with the March Madness, of course we're going to say previous eras, not only the Jordan era, but previous eras were better than the current one that we're living in. And that's facts over feelings.
I want to know if Derpy, if you're going off of 3-pointers, is Steph Curry your GOAT? Oh, the Wizards at 41, you wildin', bro. Yo, that's funny. You missed multiple dunks at 41. Yo, you gotta either be a Bron or a Steph Curry fan, one or the other. Either way, I appreciate you for coming in, like and subscribe to the show. We do this every Sunday. You know what I mean? Obviously, like
9:30 a.m.
I might have to switch
Sports.
this. I might have to switch it to 10 o'clock. I'm not gonna lie, like the way it be like before, but 9:30 so far, depending on how everybody see a lot more people showing up, later. But I appreciate it either way. But I want to go get to my what the heck moment before we, I think get up out of here. I mean, this conversation is going for as long as you guys would like, honestly, in the audience, whoever's here would like. But my what the heck moment in sports and being at this, so I say, I'm working on things. I'm working on things. So my what the heck moment in sports is Trump, and I had to bring this up.
Donald Trump.
Trump making the Army versus Navy game the only game to watch in that time slot while it's playing. So
I like it.
There's going to be 0 games played during the Army Navy game every year from here on out, moving forward.
I like the idea.
Except
I
so
honestly, I do like it.
I
But
like the
you
idea.
yeah, make your
okay.
point though.
No. I don't like it. I get it,
I like it.
but I
And the
don't
reason
like
being
it.
is because in all actuality, man, I can understand why you wouldn't like it, but it's time to
Okay.
give them their space, right? Let's give them a space where we can honor them for what they're doing. I mean, me personally, I care less about any of these military or any of this nonsense anyway. But for
So
what they're
should that so
doing,
so should that be a day? So should that be a day? So if you can't take that time slot to me, this is where my problem is. You're gonna take a time slot, right? And you're gonna do that during some of the best games that we have during the college football season. Shouldn't they have their own day then? How about give them a fucking Wednesday?
well, Memorial Day doesn't fall along the lines of any of the sport times, whether it's football or basketball, right? So, and then what's the other one? Veterans Day.
Give them that day. Let
Give them
Army
that
and
day
Navy play
on
on
Veterans
those
Day.
days.
That's
Let
that's
them
an
play on
ex-
Veterans Day.
that's an excellent day. I mean, it will
Schedule the
be
game on Veterans Day, and it makes sense. It's the whole day is about you anyway, right? About veterans. Yeah, this is your entertainment. So
either
that would
either
make more
either
sense.
either
Just
either
don't
way.
schedule
And
them
we'll all tune in.
don't schedule them on November 15th. I mean,
Either way,
that's the way.
I agree with it because as it is, I mean, we all know like when Notre Dame plays USC on a Saturday night, is the only game in the 8 o'clock slot in the sense that the majority of the prime time focus is on that game. Or when a Duke North Carolina used to play on Monday nights basketball, basically it will be the only relevant game on that day. So having Army Navy in a particular slot exclusively on a Saturday at 3 p.m. playing in Baltimore, it's not. But also the other alternative, which is playing on Veterans Day. That would be great. That would be brilliant. It's a day Army Navy football on a holiday. People are off, bringing the nation
Summertime.
together. So no, because the Veterans Day is gonna be in November. So
Oh,
if
November, yeah, Veterans Day.
because
My bad. Memorial Day is in
Memorial
May.
Day
My
will
bad.
be in May, but Veterans Day will be
Mm-hmm.
perfect. It will have the military theme,
Yeah, that's right.
and
November, it's like November what, like 11th around there, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
so
So
both
make that
ways,
game.
both I don't mind both ways because we're already used to seeing
So,
Alabama,
but
Georgia on a Saturday night
y'all
at
see
eight
where I'm
o'clock.
going, right? But
Of
y'all
course.
see where I'm going with that, right? Because he's saying nobody else is allowed to play during that time slot. That's the problem I have with the situation. There's no other games during that time slot. That's why it shouldn't be when it is. You should move that to a different time slot and a
Yeah,
different
they should play
day,
on Veterans Day. They should
like
play on Veterans Day
Veterans
every
Day.
year. They got the 8 o'clock game or whatever. If you want to give them the 6 o'clock game, but every Veterans Day, yeah, give them the 6 o'clock game. 6 to 8, boom, you got it. That's y'all. And then after that,
Mm-hmm.
NBA or so on and so forth, they had their games. But to take over, like you said, a day where they're scheduled up against regular scheduled day games and shit like that, I don't want to see them. I'm not gonna watch them. I don't.
We're not watching it.
I'm not going now. If it's the only thing on TV, like you said, Veterans Day, this is what we got. Let's tune in. So what he's trying to bring, I guess, is viewership to that game because no one really watches it if you weren't if you're not based on military. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? So
man.
that honestly, what you just said, Derby, that's exactly
Mm-hmm.
correct. He want to bring viewership to that game to, I guess, support the Army and the Navy troops or those, so it's cool, but do that on Veterans Day. You can't have that scheduled on a day where there's other leagues and stuff going on and say, oh no, y'all can't play today.
And, and,
At that
it's
time
not
slot.
play today. At that time slot, it's just he nobody he signed a freaking it's signed, bro. Like
Yeah.
this is going on. So no games are played, period. in that time slot that the Army Navy game is being played.
You can
Like,
sign
so
that,
you
but we still
can't
got taxes.
have.
You can sign that, but no problem. Well, we still got to pay taxes.
We still got taxes and gas that went up to almost $5 a gallon again.
Word. Yeah, well, I know we already know what's going on with that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
don't just sign up. So now you just being a bully where you can.
Sign a whole executive order, bro. Like, what do you mean? Like,
you know what? I can control this. Ain't nobody watching shit while Army and Navy playing. And gas is gonna
exactly.
be $9
You can't watch anything else. Listen. You can't watch another Santa Clara against Kentucky right now. Like, wow, Army Navy is playing. Even if you're a Kentucky fan or a Kansas fan, walk your business.
It can go both ways, because at the end of the day, let's also remember that the NCAA football has that extended hiatus towards the end of November. So if you're telling me that everybody's sitting down on a Saturday or on a lazy Saturday before Thanksgiving, some teams this year, they had to wait 50 days to play their bowl game because most of their seasons end up first or second week of November. So if you're telling me that you're going to have, that would be a brilliant idea if you can put hypothetically the Saturday before Thanksgiving, which is the day that the game is played, just have Army Navy and nobody else can play because nobody else is playing. All the tournaments are done, the SEC tournament and or rather championships in this case. So either way, both ways, I'm fine with it. If you want to have on a day that none of the marquee teams play on that Saturday, or put it better yet on Veterans Day, give us something to look forward to. An 8 o'clock game, Veterans Day, Army Navy, put it on NBC or something, and everybody's gonna be watching. Football is football, and we love it.
Yes, we do. We all love it. But whether it's college, whether it's the NFL, football takes precedent over everything. Even basketball, I played basketball, but I love watching football. So that's just how that goes. I don't know if anybody has anything to add for your what the heck moment of the week.
So my
or whenever.
what the heck moment of the week, I had one, but I had to come up with two. So the first one, Luka Doncic is scoring 60 points. The crazy thing about this feat with the Ants LA Lakers is that on his farewell game on April 13th, 2016, Kobe Bryant scored 60 points on his farewell game
against the Utah Jazz.
But with 14.8 seconds, he went into the free throw line. Now, 10 years later, this past Thursday, Luka Doncic scored 60 points for the Lakers. And with 14.8 seconds left in the game, he goes to the free throw line. So if this is not a what the heck moment, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know if it's set up, scripted, juju, Kobe in heaven, moving pieces around the matrix. I don't know what happened, but this is real fact. That's my number one. Now, my number two, we didn't touch on the NFL.
Before you get to your number two, isn't that kind of like the Lawrence Taylor, Alex Smith, like the whole getting a leg broken on certain parts of the field at certain times and by certain people when they have to, it's a whole crazy thing.
It's the curse of RFK Stadium, which we all know. Mr. Robert F. Kennedy died, got killed actually in the 60s. One of the hopes politically up-and-coming politicians in our nation. So the stadium was named his name. So many players have endured career-ending injuries in RFK Stadium. And then you had Joe Theismann, Alex Smith, and RG3 having the same injury happening on the same part of RFK Stadium in the field. So I don't know what the juju is going on with that stadium. I don't know if it's cursed. I don't know what's going on. But that Luka Doncic and Kobe parallel of scoring the 60 points and heading to the free throw line with 14.8 seconds left in the game, not even one in the first quarter, for both towards the end of the game, is just wild. So before I go to Ann, my second what the heck sports moment of the week, Jalen Waddle. I mean, the NFL nowadays, it seems that front offices are run by middle schoolers eating chicken McNuggets with Capri Suns at home. Jalen Waddle, there's no universe where you give up a first, a third, and a fourth for a guy that is a wide receiver 2 at best. especially when you look at the free agent wide receiver market. When it says no, Darby, I'm not Democrat. I'm conservative. I'm
No,
not
no, no,
liberal.
not you, not you, not you.
Oh,
Unapologetic,
okay.
unapologetic was is going at
So so
Derby at this point.
so at the end of the day, you have Tyreek Hill available. You have Stephon Diggs. You have Jawan Jennings. You have Calvin Austin. You have plenty of wide receivers that you can plug into an NFL offense without having to give up so many picks. So it was a what the heck moment. I saw it. I had to see it twice. I'm like, because remember, Jalen Waddle wasn't even the best receiver on his team, let alone one that commands a first, a third, and a fourth to go play for Sean Payton. The guy is a phenomenal player, but the compensation is extremely high, similar to what we spoke in weeks before about Max Crosby. And those were my what the heck moment of the week.
Yeah. Jalen
Well,
Waddle raised the price. He
that's
raised the price for Brown, right? AJ Brown is now going for somebody's 3 wives, their house, 8 first-round draft picks, and
hmm
5 players.
and your unborn son.
Name later. And your unborn son, name later. Name later, right? Like,
Honestly,
come on,
yo,
there's no way.
Felipe, you stole my what the heck moment. Because that was definitely it. That was definitely it.
I
What?
mean, and you and I, we're discussing this the past
You
two
have the
shows
same one.
with the Max Crosby thing. We you know what I'm saying? Like we came up to the conclusion that Von Miller.
Oh wait, we got beef in the chats.
We
Paul,
got beef.
Yeah, we got political beef
we
in the
got
chat
political.
at this moment.
What's going
Yo,
on in the
this
chat?
gotta be a first.
We
This
got
gotta be a
political beef.
first.
So we don't.
Yo,
So,
This
so we
gotta
don't got
be
the
a
LeBron debate today. We got Democrat and Republican guys. This is a
we got
sports.
yo. It's
This
it's
is a
no.
Crips
Let him
versus
have it.
Bloods.
Let him have it.
It's
Let him
red
have it.
versus blue. It's
Let
listen.
him
like
have
it's
it.
all day.
This is a
I'm with
sport.
like
This is a sports podcast turning into a C-SPAN conference.
Executive
I mean,
producer, please
what
no
make
are we
word.
doing here, man?
please make
If
this
you
a
want to
clip.
discuss your politics,
Yeah,
C-SPAN is available
so
24/7.
Please make
yeah,
this a clip. Let's
no,
go with this.
But
it goes down.
Going back to the topic, you and I touched on,
It goes
on
down.
this for the past couple of weeks when Max Crosby was
Mhm.
commanding so much compensation. Then
Right.
Eric DaCosta, the Baltimore
Mhm.
Ravens, watched our show
Mhm.
earlier that day in Bethesda, Maryland, drinking his coffee. He
Right.
texted me. He texted me, Eric DaCosta, the Baltimore Ravens GM, that he watched the show, and then we put doubt in his mind, and he backtracked and ended up getting Trey Hendrickson. Von Miller is the player that NFL front offices should look as the example, as the epitome that you can get good free agent players in the second, third, in the second or third stage of their career and still become productive and good for your teams. There's no need to give so many picks, especially first, third, and fourth, for a wide receiver two, a guy that is not even the best wide receiver in the market right now. Because when you look at a guy like Jawan Jennings, at 28 years old, durability, play under Kyle Shanahan, this is a guy that, albeit his personality, character issues, etc., similar to AJ
Whoa, what
Brown,
is happening?
that the only reason why AJ Brown he hasn't signed with a team is because of his diva tendencies. But AJ Brown is a player
What
that
is happening here?
where what happened?
So this is what we're gonna do, right? Hold on, no, sorry to cut you off, Felipe Lopez, right? But listen, so what we do normally, this is how things start. So the sports lounge is a sports lounge, but we do have a platform for this. You know what I'm saying? We got the Golden Lounge. You know what I mean? Where we go, everything goes VSOB Golden Lounge.
Mm-hmm.
Everything goes. We can set this up for you, Derpy and Unapologetic. We got this. We have a platform for this where
Yep.
y'all can go at it. Y'all can talk how y'all want to talk. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, Derby, for coming on here and spitting your shit, and Unapologetic as well. Unapologetic used to be part of one of the Savage Sports and fourth quarter sports and whatever else I switched it to at that point. But Derpy, yeah, come and talk your shit. I appreciate it. It went that way due to me talking about Trump. So that's what happened. So like, subscribe, talk all your ish you need to talk. I'm sorry, you know I curse a little bit too much, but he started it.
Word.
He started it. Nah,
Definitely.
yo.
Th- th- th-
That's so 85. He
This is right.
started it, right?
It's gonna
So
be
like we gonna get into it. Like we could get into it on a certain day. I will set this up for y'all. Like you let me know when y'all available and what time slots y'all available, and we could go to the Golden Lounge on Savage Calm Entertainment, and we could
we'll be
get this
there.
popping. We can have political debates and who's a simp and who's not, and who's killing the war, and who's raising out gas prices,
We can
and
do that.
you know,
And then
and
we
why
can sit
milk
on the
is six
side and
dollars,
chime in.
and laugh and chime in exactly, and then we can do what we doing. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but other than that,
It's the
we could
red
get
cup.
that moving.
It's the red cup. Don't
Let's
worry about it.
let's do that. Yo, you already know the
It's
red
the
cup
red cup.
every morning. Every morning we gonna do this with the red cup. I don't know how much time y'all got. I'm cool. I'm around always. We about to get into the tournament. What time the game start today, y'all? I know I'm in last place, so you know I'm a little upset right now, but my Michigan still gonna win a championship, as you said. And you know you rooting for your Dukies, of course, but we are better. Eddie, Felipe Lopez does not, you know, he changes every damn week. He fucks me up, but he doesn't
Me too.
seem to have.
St. John's Red Storm. I'm
At
cool. I'm calm.
5:15.
I'm calm. I'm cool. I'm calm. Collected.
Wait, Kentucky and Iowa State play at
What
2:45.
time?
It's a slate of good games today. Yesterday seemed dull.
What's the first game though? What's the first
Miami
game?
and Purdue is the first game. They play at
What
12:10.
time? So
12:10.
12:10. It's
Yeah,
11:30. I mean, it's up to y'all if y'all want to freestyle some more and keep it
yeah,
rocking.
yeah.
Like
Keep
I
it,
don't
keep
mind.
it,
Like
keep
this
it,
is
keep it,
Sports Lounge.
No,
keep
me, I
it.
gotta roll. I got a date with the grandkids, so I gotta roll out.
Oh, you do your thing.
So
But
just
fellas,
before we go, and heck, good slate of games today. Yesterday seemed a little bit dull. The first couple of games, the afternoon games, but today,
Mm, mm.
all games today have huge implications, especially for our bracket competition. To our audience, we have a private bracket, and whoever wins is going to get two bottles of their preference, and it keeps us focused and tuned in into the tournament. And St. John's Red Storm playing today. We're gonna beat Kansas. Rick Pitino, the most hated man in the NCAA, is gonna pull tricks out of the hat. It's going to be a close one, but we are going to win with the physicality and the momentum and the tenacity that this St. John's Red Storm team, the alma mater of the great Felipe Lopez, and I'm his ambassador here,
hey man,
is going to be playing today.
we're gonna
A
definitely get into
record
that.
5 games.
Give
A
it up.
record five games have been over 20 points this tournament. In the first round, people took care of business. I mean, it should be a good one lining up moving forward. I hope I come up out of third place. This shit sucks, y'all.
Yeah,
Like I got about.
and like we said at the beginning of the show, it has been a
Like,
tournament with not a lot of upsets, but it has been entertaining overall. When you see a team
nah,
like a
been
number
pretty good.
like a number 11 Texas, 3 wins in 5 days, just getting off the Greyhound bus, sweating bullets, getting off the bus and going into the court, playing the boo, 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 boo. They in the Sweet 16. That's what you want to see. Other than that, High Point with their high tempo, they went high flying back to North Carolina.
Yeah.
Other than that, we haven't
Everything.
seen.
Honestly,
I have a question though.
it's been weeded. Those teams have been weeded out now.
Yes.
Like, those teams have been weeded out.
Yeah. Now it's time to get to business.
Right.
Off
Anything
topic real
can go.
quick.
No more surprises. Anything can go from right here, and that's what it is.
Off topic real quick, and then we could get up out of here. Felipe Lopez, if you would like to stay, that's cool. But I just want to know from all the men around the world, do y'all use a certain amount of cream getting out the shower on your private parts when you get out for cleanliness purpose?
Wait, what?
There's something in the market called Happy Nuts. And Happy Nuts,
yo,
they're saying this podcast was promised 3,000 years ago to conservatives. I don't know what that means, but there is a man hygiene product in the market called Happy Nuts. So you know how
Yo,
you
it's
have.
time to, yo, what the fuck?
Hold up. This is what's going to make our podcast go viral. So you know how you put baby powder on babies, right?
Yeah.
So you have a powder, a baby powder, but for grown men. So it's called Happy Nuts. It's in the market. We're giving them free promotion, by the way. If they're watching us, they, they they should sponsor the show. I'll get in contact with them. But heck and I were discussing that this week. You know
Dude, you
what?
can't put something.
Yeah,
You can't put something on your. You can't put something down, dude. Y'all don't have women that.
No. But just like the name implies, hold on. Let me see if I can look for a picture in the internet. just, just, bro, we're gonna go viral, man.
You come up with powder like you got a yeast infection.
Nah. So
Yo, fellas,
conversation. And then all of a sudden,
leave it to this dude. Leave it to this dude, man.
and so I'm in the Happy Nuts webpage right now, happynuts.com. So hold up. No. It's actually my happynuts.com. So
Unbelievable.
so what it says is a modern body powder formulated with clean ingredients. So they have like shower gels, shower soaps. They have soap for men. So basically, it's like a company.
This segment is called Happy Nuts.
So basically, it's a company for men's hygiene products, and the company was started by a dude that had cancer, that had testicle cancer, and then he started the company, to spread awareness on testicle, and he named the company Happy Nuts. It's like a baby powder for hygiene for men. So Heck and I were having a hilarious banter all week long in regards to this company. So check it out.
What the hell made y'all start talking about products?
I don't know what happened. The conversation that happened
Hilarious banter,
in our
craziness.
situation.
You just start talking. It's like, I don't know if this ever happened to you when you start, like, for instance, researching Damon Stoudemire's career, for instance, that he started with the Toronto Raptors, and then you end up reading about the founders of Toronto, Canada. So sometimes you're talking about a topic, and then you just keep going down a rabbit hole, and then hilarious banter.
No, there's no way.
It was. I forgot the topic of actual conversation, but then it happened when he said, "Well, I use this." What I said, what? You what? And then it just went crazy from there.
Yeah. And the best part about it, that we had a lady joining the conversation, and she was like, "Oh, I use one too, and it's like minty one." And
I'm out.
And she started saying how her man uses it, and because it's like a man, it's like a grooming company for men. Like they have beard oil, soaps, etc. Shower. So she said,
I don't think I'm gonna be going to Happy Nuts for stuff that goes on my bed.
And then one of our other co-workers he said, "Yeah, I got the cream too."
Yo.
Shout out to Mike Jones. He probably watching today. Mike Jones, man, if you're out there, shout out. Thank you for tuning in. Everyone in the audience, it's been a great show.
Telling you. No, I'm telling you, yo, listen.
The number one sports show on the internet, on YouTube now, man. Keep tuning in every Sunday, 9:30 a.m. This is not ESPN. This is not Mickey Mouse ass sports. This is real objective takes, man.
Yes. Well, appreciate y'all for coming up. Yo, Derpy, for you and Unapologetic. Y'all could go at it about Trump and Biden and Obama and what's her name? I want to say Carmelo or Kamala Harris. Like, it's a sports show.
Derpy, Unapologetic, Philly, everyone in the chat.
We will set this up.
Keep it up. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the comments.
Got it.
For the like, for the share. Shout out to our executive producer, Mr. Savage, cooking behind the scenes, Mr. Heck, our great moderator, and who better else than my partner in crime, the Robin to the Batman, Mr. Ant, man, the Blue Devils. I texted Heck, man. I was scared because I was like, man, if Duke loses, man, I ain't gonna see Ann until 2027, man. And
No, you want to see me no more.
so good.
I'm saying this
What?
on live. I'm saying this on live stream. If they would have lost that game, y'all would have been at my funeral today. I guarantee you, I would not have. I would not have been able to live a second longer.
No, before we go, quick question. I have a quick question just before we wrap it up. So, if Duke had lost that game, would that be the biggest upset, not in basketball or NCAA, in sports history in general, like in all sports, in the history of sports?
Yes. Yes.
I say yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say
That
yes.
definitely would have been.
That would top Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson.
Yes.
Was that the biggest though?
A 16 and a 1? And we're not just talking about
A 16 and a 1. No, happening. But I don't. What was Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson? At that moment, it was. But was that our biggest upset? That's for next week.
That's for next week.
For next week.
That's for next week.
So
when you take a 16 seed like a Siena, who only reason we know about them is because I'm from New York. Siena's a part of New York, so I know. Right?
Siena, Iona, Manhattan. We're from New York. We know all those little schools that have those, and a lot of them are good in basketball, but not good enough to go into the tournament and beat a number one.
Yeah, like so I get it. It's but number one, Duke is not just number one in the seeding. They were number one overall in the country.
Number one overall.
To a Siena, who if they don't win their conference doesn't even make it to the tournament. That would have been catastrophic for my life.
In addition to that, Siena went up by 19 at one point. So basically,
I had to take a walk. I went outside and took a walk, and I was telling Steven, I was like, "Yo, I feel like we lost. Like we won, but I feel like we lost that game." I'm like, "Yo, how in the hell?"
Yeah,
I kind of feel like y'all redeemed yourself last night. I feel like that was a wake up call for y'all because y'all went in there sleeping. I feel like y'all thought y'all was just going to walk over Siena due to the fact that that's a 16. You guys were a 1. I mean, I think they all forgot the fact that there's actual basketball players out there in the transfer portal where seniors and juniors are transferring to other places to get playing time. So I feel like Duke forgot that. And then they got their wake-up call. And then yesterday, they, in a close game at 40-40 after the behind-the-back pass for the little layup or whatever, I was like, oh, my gosh, it's about to happen. And then they took over, and then they came back. A couple good blocks on the defensive end, kind of, set the tone for what was going forward.
Looking at the game
and here we go.
Before we head out, looking at the game, starting at 12, we have Miami-Purdue, great game. You have 2:45 slot, Iowa State, Kentucky. Iowa State, impressive. It's probably top 2 teams that I've seen playing the tournament so far. Then you have my St. John's Red Storm, Felipe Lopez alma mater playing at 5:15 against Kansas. Tennessee, Virginia at 6. Iowa, Florida at 7. Utah State against the team that is going to win it all, Arizona at 7:50. UCLA, UConn at 8:45. Shout out to the Huskies fans out there. Texas Tech, Alabama, 9:45. So basically, all games are fire. All games are fire today.
And here's the crazy part, and I kid you not, on the way back in October, from doing what I had to do in a certain situation in my life, I'm at the airport, and there's this guy literally sprinting through the airport,
like OJ.
He's about 7'8". Everybody's like, yo, he's gonna hit his head on the. It was the Florida dude. He literally had on a Florida freaking Gators shirt, sprinting through the airport to catch the plane. The dude from Florida. Everybody was like, yo, he's gonna hit his head on the thing. He just ran right past me. Boom. I'm like, yo, what the heck is this giraffe doing? Like, it was him. The dude that's the tallest man to catch, went like, yo, crazy work the way that the universe goes sometimes. But yeah, so next week we got a couple more topics to talk about, and we're just gonna keep this moving every week, y'all. Appreciate y'all for showing up
And
once
heck,
again.
Mr. Savage, and
Yes, sir.
to the audience, we couldn't do this without you. Make sure you share with your sports buddies, with your golf buddies, with your friends, families that like sports and want to see a different.
Y'all not my golf buddies. Nobody here is my golf buddy.
Yeah, we gotta cut the we could cut the There's some segments here we could definitely use, man. Hilarious stuff today, man. Good stuff.
Yes,
That's some
Be
good
blessed,
stuff.
and be blessed, heck, Mr.
All
Savage.
right, fellas.
As
Yo,
always.
y'all enjoy y'all day. See y'all next week.
yes. Let's enjoy the game. See y'all next week.
Yes, sir.
We out.
Ladies and gentlemen, fans of the game, Stack Kings. If it's got a scoreboard, you know we talking about it. What the heck? This is all on Stack Kings. To the gridiron, fast breaks to the end zone, walk-offs, knockouts, buzzer beaters, yeah, we breaking it all down. Big plays! Hot take! Championship debate! What the heck? This is all Steelers! Welcome to What the Heck Sports, where we break it down.